Hi, I'm Tim and this is Timberway Designs. I've been doing a series of videos where I take rocks that I find or purchase and I make a cabochon out of them. I go through all the steps the way I do it, from the slab or the rough rock all the way to the finished cabochon. This week I got a piece of picture jasper. Let's make a cabochon. So I got this little piece of picture stone I picked up at a rock show, and of course not identified. They just, they always tell you, oh yeah, you'll just have to look it up. Very rarely have I been shown that these things get identified. I like it. Looks kind of got an interesting pattern to it. Now this is going to be the back side because I want this. Let's see. Hang on a second. Yeah, I want this on the front. So I'm going to dry this off a little bit. Okay, so this is I'm going to do an inch trillion cut on this and try to get a seam like that. So I want this on the show side, so we're going to flip it over and we're going to mark the line on the back side here. Get it nice and dry. And kind of want like a foreground thing because I don't think it looked very good like that. I like this better. So we're going to get it up in the corner here, and then that'll be the sky and the mountains and the clouds, and then you got some like dunes or something in the foreground. At least that's the way I'm seeing it right now. So grab my ultra fine Sharpie here. I'm going to get this positioned right about there, I think. Okay, so this will be the show side. This will be the back side. Now, if you're interested, I make these here, and I think I got 16 different kinds on my Etsy page. So check them out if you want. They're made out of nice heavy plastic, and they're not huge. They stack up really nice. And if you got a design that you're looking for and you can't find anywhere, give me a shout, because like I said, I make these myself. I can work something out and make something that you have been looking for. So there's my plug for these. So we're going to take this downstairs. I'll take it down to the trim saw. We'll trim it out of here, and then I'll take it to the cabber and we'll grind it down to the lines, and then we'll dop it and then get ready to make a cabochon out of it. So let's head downstairs. So we're on here on my 5-inch high-tech trim saw, and I'll be honest with you, I wish I would have bought the 6-inch trim saw. This does the job, but I think I would have been happier with the 6-inch. So we're going to trim around this. Remember, the more you trim, the less you grind, but don't get too close to the line. This thing could break off, and then you'd be starting all over again. All right, that's all the closer I'm going to get on this. Now we're going to take it over the cabber and grind her down to the lines. All right, we're over here on my Kingsley North 6-inch cabber. I got the shape here. We're going to grind it down to the line, and we'll start with the 80 grit, 220 grit, and then we'll touch it up to 280 grit. And then I'll heat up the dot pot, and we'll put a dop on it, and then we'll make a cab. Here we go. Okay, that's close enough for me on the 280 grit. Now we're going to move over to 220 grit. Okay, now remember, we're doing a radius here, so keep the stone moving all the time. Don't stop. You'll put a flat spot in there. And the other thing, is grind down to the line, and then move about the face of your stone or your wheel, so you don't wear the wheel out in the center, like a lot of people like to stay in the center. I just kind of move around, you know, try to hit fresh stuff all the time. Alright, I think that's close enough for me. And I'm going to move over to 280 grit now. Alright, I'm going to go throw this on the dot pot to heat up the rock. We'll put a waxy and top wax on there with the stick, and we'll make a cab. So stand by. Okay, we're all dopped up here. So now we're going to grind in a girdle. This will be a flat spot along the bottom here, about a little less than 1/8 inch, 2 millimeters-ish. And we'll accomplish that by grinding in about a 45-degree angle along this edge here, working our way around till we get down to the girdle. And then once we hit the girdle, top of the girdle there, we stop there. And then the edge from grinding to 45, we'll keep grinding until we working our way towards the center of the cab. Then once we get that, then we'll start doming it. So let's get started. So we'll start with the 80 grit, move over to the 220, and then the 280 grit once we start doming. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to go back on the 80 grit, and we're going to grind this edge down a little bit, working our way towards the center. Now stay away from your girdle. You've established that now. You don't want to be grinding into that anymore. Alright, now you can see, we can try to get some light here. You can see the girdle, and then that's my first grind, and that's my second grind, and then you still got a flat spot on top. Now you can grind this edge away too, but I normally don't do that. By now I feel that I can dome this without having to grind this away. So let's start doming. Now you'll notice I'm going kind of fast, but I've been doing this for a while now. I'm trying, when I swing the stone back and forth, I do it a couple times and move it, do a couple times and move it, and then do a couple, because that way it keeps your dome symmetric. And you got to go till the flat spot's gone up on top. And I don't think I'm quite there yet. And you can see a couple of flat edges and stuff. So when you're swinging it, you can go a lot slower than I go. And just make sure you don't swing way past and swing into your girdle. You want to try to maintain that. Okay, I was just working around the edges to get rid of the flat spot from the 80 grit. I like what I got so far. I don't see a flat spot in there anymore. So I'm going to move over to the 280 grit. What I like to do here is I like to grind just on the edge to get all the grind marks away from the 80 grit right down to the edge. Because if you don't do that, you'll see it when you get on the other end, especially clear stones. This stone you could probably get away with that, a couple scratch marks in there, but not on a clear stone. So now I'm going to go ahead and start doming it on the 280. Take a look at it. I think I'm I'm going to hit the center a little bit more. I think I can see some scratches in there still. Okay, I'm quite happy with that. We're going to move on to the 280 grit. All right, looking pretty good now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this edge here because it drops off where the edge comes to the girdle. It's kind of not sharp, but it's a sharp edge. You can kind of see it right there. So what I'll do is I'll just roll it up on the 280 grit. That's how I do my edges. All right, I'm liking that. Now, I want to caution you when you're rolling it up on the edge, try not to put a sharp point straight on the wheel like this, or else you got a chance you could damage one of these soft wheels here. You're not going to damage the hard wheels, but you could dig in and cut your soft wheel. So I kind of keep the point off to one side or the other when I'm rolling the edge over. That's looking pretty good. I might touch it up just a little bit on the corners here. All right, I'm liking that. So now we're going to move over to the polishing side, and I'll kind of shut you off here for a second. Okay, now we're over here on the polishing side. We have 600, 1200, 3000, and then I got a cerium oxide disc around the corner here. So let's start with 600. Now I'm going to roll it up on the 600 just like I did on the 280 grit. Okay. Now we'll move on to the 1200. Now on the higher grits, instead of rolling it up like this, I just like to turn the edge like this and just kind of move the stick out at an angle. Okay, now we're going to move on to 3000. Okay, I'm kind of curious how we're doing in the shine department here. That's 3000. So I'm going to take it over on the cerium oxide and finish this up. Okay, we're on the cerium oxide. Got to put my my blast shield in place here. This thing sprays water all over the place. All right, here we go. Okay, let's see what we got here. Right off on the towel a little bit. Right up on my pant leg a little bit. Here we go. How's that? Okay, I'm going to take this upstairs, throw it in the freezer, get it off the dop stick, and then we'll take a closer look at it. So we pulled the cab out of the freezer, got a nice clean break. There's a stick right there, didn't have to struggle with it at all. And we got ourselves a rather nice looking cabochon here. I'm really impressed with this. I've done a couple picture stones, but this one's awesome. So let's turn the camera around, we'll take a closer look at this thing. So here is the cabochon that I made for this week's episode. Now, I call it picture stone because a lot of times, like I said, I go to these rock meets, I buy slabs of rocks, and the people that sell them have no idea what they're selling or what it's called. I've asked that question many times, and I get, oh, I don't know, answer it from them. So I kind of looked online. I found something very similar to this, and it's called Rocky Butte Picture Stone. So maybe we'll just go with that right now. But I'll probably put Picture Stone in the title. So I got really good representation of a picture, I guess, in my mind. So you got a foreground, and then you got kind of a mountainous looking thing, and then you got the sky, although the sky is kind of a greenish thing. But I'll probably end up putting the bale up on top right here. But yeah, I don't know. I really like it. I was thoroughly impressed with it. So flip it over. That's the back side. I made this the back because the front looked more like it had a picture going in it. So this will be for sale on the Etsy page, and I'll get it on there someday. You know how I am about getting stuff on Etsy. And if you want to visit my Etsy page, the link is below in the description. Just click on it, and it'll take you there. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching me make this picture stone here. I am really impressed. I think it's really neat. I got some more rough rock. I don't know if it looks like this or not, but I'm going to be slicing up here pretty soon. You'll be seeing some more picture stone in the series. So you got to watch me go through my process to take a slab of that picture stone and make a beautiful cabochon out of it. I mean, this thing is awesome. So next week, I got another piece of Jasper here, and this is another instance where I bought this Jasper. Actually, it's kind of funny. I picked this out of a box that said $5 on it, and I was going to give the guy this Jasper. I was going to buy it for $5, and he said, nope, the whole box is $5. I'm like, oh, all right, awesome. Well, I asked him, I said, what kind of Jasper is this? I don't know. Okay. So I looked it up, and it seems like any Jasper, it's got circles or circular patterns in it, is called orbicular. But I don't know. I tried looking some stuff up, and I saw Poppy Jasper and Cobra Jasper. I don't know if it's one. So if anybody out there knows exactly what kind of Jasper this is, here, I'll hold it up a little closer so you can see it. Send me a comment, or leave a comment down below if you have any idea what this is, because I'm not positive, but I think it's going to make a really cool cabochon next week. So appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you did subscribe, I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. The button's down below. It don't cost anything to subscribe. And then slide over, give me a thumbs up, share it, ring the bell or click on the bell to get notifications. And if you're on a mobile device, you can hype it too, and that kind of gives me more analytics, so the YouTube analog system can see me out there and make my videos more viewable and distribute them or whatever they do. I don't know. So if you haven't subscribed and you just come to view it, I appreciate you coming back and watching these videos. I really enjoy making them. And yeah, let's see, any notes here? Get next week, subscribe, yeah, okay. So come on back. This video here comes out every Saturday morning. Every Saturday morning I'll have a different stone making a cabochon out of. So thanks for watching. That's all I got, and I'll catch you later.